Let me ask you something before you click off this video. When was the last time you said yes when every part of you was screaming no? When you laughed at something that wasn't funny, agreed to a date you didn't want, stayed quiet when something hurt you, all so the other person wouldn't be uncomfortable even for a second. If that hit a nerve, you need to watch this video. Because today, we're talking about people pleasing, and not the soft, polite version everyone jokes about. We're talking about the version that's quietly running your life. These are 3 truths you're not ready to hear, and they're aimed straight at us, at gay men, because the way we learn to please people started a long time ago, and it goes deeper than you think. Truth number 1, your people pleasing was never kindness, it was survival. I need you to really hear that, because most of us have wrapped this thing in a pretty story. We tell ourselves we're just nice, we're easygoing, we're the friend everyone can count on. But somewhere along the way, being agreeable stopped being a choice and became a reflex. And if you trace that reflex back far enough, you'll find a kid who learned that being himself wasn't safe. Think about it. A lot of us grew up scanning the room before we ever said a word. We learned to read a parent's mood from the sound of the front door. We learned which version of ourselves got approval and which version got silence, or worse. We learned to soften our voice, to watch our wrists, to laugh along with the joke that was secretly about us. We became experts at managing other people's comfort because our safety depended on it. That isn't a character flaw. That was a brilliant survival strategy for a child who had no other options. But here's the part you're not ready to hear. You're not that child anymore. The threat is gone, and the strategy stayed. You're still managing everyone's feelings like your life depends on it, except now it doesn't. And it's costing you the one thing you actually want, which is to be known. Because you can't be a survival machine and an honest man at the same time. One of them has to go. So I want you to sit with a hard question. How much of your personality is actually you? And how much of it is a performance you built to keep other people calm? Most of us have never even asked. We just assumed the mask was the face. Before we get to the second truth, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Because this channel is built for gay men who are done lying to themselves and ready to grow. If this is the kind of honesty you want more of, subscribing is how you make sure the next video finds you. Truth number 2, the more you please, the more invisible you become. This one stings, so let me be precise about it. People-pleasing feels like connection. It feels like you're being generous, giving, present. But what's actually happening is the opposite. Every time you hide what you really think to keep the peace, you hand the other person a version of you that isn't real. And you cannot be loved for who you are if no one ever meets who you are. Let's make this concrete, because I know exactly how this plays out for us. You're seeing someone. He does something that bothers you. Maybe he goes quiet for 3 days and then acts like nothing happened. And instead of saying that hurt, you tell yourself not to be needy. You make it easy for him. You stay light, you stay fun, you stay low maintenance. And you call that being chill, but you're not being chill. You're disappearing. You're teaching him that he can treat you however he wants and you'll smile through it. And then you lie awake wondering why he doesn't take you seriously, why he doesn't choose you, why the men who actually want you bore you, and the ones who can't see you keep your attention. Here's the truth underneath it. We often confuse being needed with being loved, so we make ourselves useful. We become the supportive one, the generous one, the one who actually shows up and never asks for anything back. And it works, in a sense. People keep us around, but being kept around is not the same as being wanted. A man can appreciate everything you do for him and still not know a single true thing about you. And deep down, you can feel that gap. That loneliness doesn't make sense because you're surrounded by people. That's the loneliness of being liked for a person who isn't really there. I'll say it plainly. If you never risk being a disappointment, you'll never get to be a real option. You'll just be convenient. And convenient men get taken for granted, not chosen. Truth number 3, and this is the one that changes everything. The discomfort you're avoiding is the exact thing you need to walk toward. Every people pleaser is organized around one belief, whether they admit it or not. The belief is this: if I disappoint you, I lose you. So we contort ourselves to never disappoint anyone. And in doing so, we lose ourselves instead. We've decided our worth is conditional. We earn our place by being useful, by being agreeable, by being easy. And a worth you have to constantly earn is not worth at all. It's a debt you can never finish paying. So the work, and I mean the real work, is learning to tolerate the discomfort of letting someone down, saying no without a paragraph of apology attached to it, telling a man what you actually need and watching to see if he can meet it, instead of pretending you don't need anything, letting there be a silence after you set a boundary, and not rushing to fill it, allowing someone to be a little disappointed in you and discovering that you survive it. Because you will survive it. That's the secret no one told you. The sky does not fall. The people worth keeping respect you more. And the ones who only liked you for your compliance, they drift away. And that is not a loss. That is a filter doing its job. I want to be honest with you about why this is so hard for us specifically. For a lot of gay men, the love we got early was conditional. It came with terms. Be this. Hide that. Don't embarrass us. And you can stay. So we learned that love is something you can qualify for by being good, by being small, by being easy to love. And that wiring doesn't just disappear because you grew up and moved to a city and built a life. It follows you into every relationship until you decide to face it. Unconditional worth has to be practiced because for many of us, it was never modeled. So here is what I'll leave you with. Start small. The next time someone asks something of you and your gut says no, let the no exist, even if your voice shakes. The next time a man does something that hurts you, say so, plainly, without softening it into nothing. Watch what happens. Watch how it feels to be a person with edges instead of a person who dissolves to fit whatever the room needs. Because the goal was never to stop caring about people. Caring is one of the most beautiful things about you. The goal is to stop abandoning yourself in order to hold on to people who are never holding you back. You are allowed to take up space. You are allowed to have needs that inconvenience someone. You are allowed to be a full person, not a comfortable one. And the men who are meant for you, the real ones, they're not looking for someone easy. They're looking for someone real. You can't be both. So choose real. It's lonelier at first, and then it's the least lonely you've ever been. Before you go, I need you to ask yourself one question. Who would you be if you stopped trying so hard to be what everyone else needed? I think the answer is someone worth meeting. I think it might be time you finally met him. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. If you're a gay man and these types of conversations resonate with you, go ahead and hit subscribe. And before you go, watch another video. The one up on the screen is something YouTube thinks you will want to see next. Take care, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.